Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Good evening, folks. And my phone just went off there. How rude of it. How are we doing, folks? Good evening. Welcome to Alien Addicts on this fine, luxurious evening. That was probably one of the guests texting me. But how are we doing this fine and I've already said fine, luxurious evening. I'm just going to get the guests on because we have no idea tonight what we're doing with this show because we're not really supposed to speak about the flying saucers. That's why we call them flying saucers on tonight's show, because if we use the UFO it is. Boys, it's going to be UFO tonight. The UFO. It's the UFO. UFO. Lee, Rich, welcome to the show. It's going to be a strange one.
Thanks for having me.
This is trying to work around YouTube algorithms again by making words up.
We just can't seem to... And I'm seeing it. I'll see a video go up on YouTube and somebody's used the word UFO in the title. I'm thinking, oh, you shouldn't have done that. You should not have done that.
Not going to recommend it. YouTube won't recommend anything with the word or acronym UFO.
I would say to you... Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, I felt like a real controversial YouTuber the other day. I got my first community strike.
Oh,
I won't say what the video is about because otherwise you will.
Is that the one with the mattress?
Yes, it was, and the puppies.
Oh no! I didn't even want to watch it. I was afraid I was going to get a strike at home.
Yeah, but isn't it? It's one of those things, isn't it? Where it's like a car crash. You've got to keep looking.
No,
you just want to know what happens at the end.
No, that wasn't me. Didn't need to go to completion on that video.
I would say to you, Rich, you've been on the rise recently. So through this downfall for UFOs, your channel is just literally, it's like a pair of salty testicles that are just thriving with sweat right now, in a good way. That's a good thing, Rich.
But it's not. But it's because I'm on 3 different places, man. I'm doing a lot of work. Third Phase of Moon, Third Phase UFO Report, GUFON, Dark Hour Paranormal, Alien Addict. Capiche?
What did I say to you when I first met you?
You said you're never going to get anywhere. Quit.
I said to you, which is taken a little bit longer, but I said to you, Rich, at the end of this year, and I think that was 2 years ago, you'll overtake my channel.
Yeah, you said that once or twice.
But literally, probably at the end of this month, you will overtake my channel. The way it's going, it is now your moment. You're thriving.
Yeah, 3 months. Well,
Beautiful.
Thanks to Third Phase. It's Third Phase of Moon. Okay, there's no secret to what's going on. I mean, but you still we're retaining people. At least we're not seeing. We went from 60 people live on the live stream to a lot last night. 169, 168. But right around 110 usually.
That was an amazing show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, last night was pretty exceptional. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Jeremy Riss.
Yeah, you couldn't pronounce his name, but to be fair, I would have said his name like that.
Spells it RYS. How's that Riss? It's pretty wild.
I think he's Polish.
He is. Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
great guy though. Real nice.
Yeah,
guy. He's like one of us.
He's intelligent. He's very intelligent.
Smart, yeah.
He's not like one of us then.
No, I guess not. He is male. No, it was pretty cool, man. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was interesting the fact that he's kind of like, if somebody gets in a debate with him, I want to have it out man to man.
Right?
Don't block me. This is the problem with this community.
Yeah, they run.
You say the wrong thing. Yeah.
There's a problem with everybody, isn't it? Like everyone blocks each other and runs away. If you say one thing to someone they don't like, someone can agree with you on something for 4 or 5 years. You say one thing they don't like, it's cancelled, gone. Can't listen to you anymore.
It's not that they don't like what you're saying. They know it's the truth and they're afraid to talk at that point. They got stumped, so they run.
Yeah.
So you're going to have him back on, and you are going to go on Alien Scientist as well.
That's the plan. Yeah. I mean, we haven't talked about it because the show was just 12 hours ago, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how far that goes. And Third Phase reached out to him as well. So
it was you annoyed me a little bit though, Rich. There was something that just annoyed me. The fact that you didn't ask him about Bob Lazar.
I did bring it up. I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I said that's exactly what Bob Lazar said. I tried getting him into that conversation.
Yeah, he didn't want to go there.
No, well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I asked him to come on the show just 3 hours prior to that. I thought he was going to get back to me, the next day or something. He got back instantly. He's like, sure, I'll come on tonight. I'm like, tonight? I'm like, all right. Why not? And I didn't know. I only thought he had like 10,000 subscribers. And then I was at the show, I was looking at his channel. I'm like, oh, he's got 100,000. No wonder why I have all these people here. It was kind of wild.
So, did you know about the thing with him and Bob Lazar?
No, I don't.
Yeah. So I've been following for a long time. Do you know I said to you that he's meant to be coming on Alien Addict? We've been speaking. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's why I recognize him now, because of you.
Well, he hasn't been on before. He's meant to be coming. No. I think he's been in the chat before. I think.
No, I went to his channel because of you, and I see him on Twitter only. I never knew what he looked like.
Right.
And the last night was probably the second time I've ever seen him, and his face was like, oh, wow. I don't know where I know his face from. And that's it, because you told me about him. So what happened? I didn't mean to drag on.
Well, no. The interesting thing with Jeremy is his channel was one of the first channels that I ever saw YouTube kind of pay attention to in a bad way when it comes to UFOs. They demonetized his entire channel. This was a couple of years back.
Oh my God!
And he was speaking about Bob Lazar quite a lot. About Bob Lazar in a very negative manner. There was some innuendos about Bob Lazar's ex-wife and what happened to her, and it was a bit like, I don't know if you can say that, but that's when he started speaking briefly in your interview about Jeremy Corbell with their spat on Twitter.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a cool guy. And he does know his stuff. I don't know about the Bob Lazar stuff being true or not. But, I don't get involved in any of that. But it would be interesting to ask him if you get him on next. Ask him about the Bob Lazar. Now,
because he said some controversial things. He didn't even want to talk about him.
Yeah, I think that's.
No, sorry, I was just.
No. What are you going to say?
That's what I hate. When no more free speech.
Well, this is it with the platform. I mean, the platform, the YouTube, we love you. You just treat us nice. We are your children.
Battered wives.
Yeah, I mean this is the problem. I mean, it kind of makes some of the conspiracy theories speak. In terms of, well, if they've taken out the word UFO, there must be a reason behind it. Maybe they're taking it out because they don't want us to talk about the truth. It kind of spurs people on a little bit more.
Well, I did a whole show about this, a whole podcast a couple of years ago when Alex Jones got deplatformed off everything. And there was people like saber rattling and cheering that crazy conspiracy theorist Alex Jones had been toppled from all the social media platforms and stuff. And I said, no, that's the beginning. That's the start of it. This was 24 hours after it happened. I said, everyone will be next. I said, there'll be some big scalps then. And then as soon as you're used to the big scalps being done, it doesn't matter. You can get rid of the little guys. Someone says something out of line, gone. And it's all that happened over the last 2 years.
Yeah. Thank you, Lee. Not you, not Lee in the chat. Sorry,
thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to my TED talk. But yeah,
sorry,
no, I'm done. But you could see that was the way it was going to go on social media and these platforms that are there. They've, especially YouTube's used people to build itself to where it is right now, and now it's quite happy to continue the subscriber base on tech YouTubers and people making videos with kittens.
Yeah, the thing is, with this platform, it was what I considered like the most coolest thing I'd ever seen. Like,
It was the Wild West.
It was amazing, and what it's turning into is something. I mean, some of the kids probably do think it's cool, but it seems very much for kids. Apart from the video that I showed you both the other day, which I'm not going to talk about right now, but you know, you could put disgusting stuff on YouTube and get away with it, but you can't talk about UFO.
The conspiracy theorist inside me said it's because there's a narrative that the sort of big tech guys want to control. You know, there's a narrative out there, and as far as UFOs go, for some reason, when you type UFO into a search bar, they want you to see the tic tac.
Yeah.
You know,
if you
and
type
they
into Google, that's what you get.
Yeah. So why? I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. The most backed story in UFO history, other than Roswell, is the first thing in the search engine, yet they don't want us to talk about it or mention the UFO acronym. It's weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, which is typical of the people who run these platforms. They live in a bizarro world, and it's just whatever you're thinking, think the opposite, and you'll be right.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I mean, Rich, you're good friends with the boys. And do they speak about, in terms of views, what they're getting to what they were getting? Have they seen? I mean, Tyler's gone at the moment. They're going to be taking over as potentially number one UFO channel on YouTube. Well, they are now, because Tyler has gone for the time being. He's coming back though, apparently. But do they speak about their views being down to what they were?
I can't. I keep looking at the picture. You got to get that out of there.
Sorry.
You're gonna kill me. You're gonna kill me.
What's wrong with it?
Their views have gone up.
Blake suits a Klingon.
Poor guy.
Blake loves that. Does he not? He probably hates it. I'm going to put on a t-shirt. Send it to him.
It just it's weird once you become friends with them. You know, it's like some things just change. Yeah, it's weird. I know when you first put that out, I was laughing my ass off. And when did you make that thing, by the way?
Oh, it's a long time ago when I used to debunk. I tell you,
oh my God, that long ago?
No, they interviewed somebody who was telling them that he was an alien, but he was basically telling them everything from a Star Trek episode. So that's where it came from.
I got it now. Okay. I don't know if you told me that before. Their views have gone up. Actually, they're doing just as good as now as they did back when they were. Yeah, isn't that amazing? But Tyler may come back.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we don't know. We've heard this cry wolf thing like how many times? He went through all the pigs and the sheep, so I don't know what he's got left to blow over.
It's good that their channel is still going strong then, because that means that they can't affect a channel that's already kind of established. You know, once it's established, that's it. But the worrying thing, if somebody wanted to start out now, they were a talented guy, they'd studied the UFO field for years and years and years, and they had a bit of personality about them. They made some amazing videos. They put some great evidence out. Would that reach anybody?
No.
You know,
well, when I first met you, I only had 700 subscribers, and I was getting 2-3 new subscribers in a week. Sometimes it was awful. And I'm like, this is not like the old days. Old days, you put a video up, you get 5,000 views with hardly anybody on your channel instantly. You remember, I mean, even when you started, things were going viral. Nothing goes viral. You can start a new channel You'll never reach third phase of moon unless you somehow connect with somebody who's got a huge channel, like millions. That's how much shadow banning is going with the UFO community on YouTube. It's that bad. Me and Dark Hour Paranormal, just as an example, hooked up with third phase of moon. And we do the panel, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the last 3 months when Michael and I became friends, I was watching his subscribers and my subscribers. And I'm not lying when I tell you this. We are exactly the same amount of subscribers. Almost, it's exact. After 3 months, we both, let's just say 1,500 subscribers. Not 1,501. We both have exactly the same. It's pretty wild. And, how does that happen? That's impossible almost. It's impossible.
It's weird sometimes you'll see that. I mean, I don't know if you still use the app that I told you about. I've stopped doing it now because it just frustrated me, because sometimes you just see that you'd lost overnight 20, but then the next day you'd gained another 20. It's weird.
I do use that app and it doesn't do it anymore. It's weird. It's like there was a big purge going on the last couple of years. You would get 10 subscribers, lose 15, gain 25, lose 10. Now it's consistent. It seems like you still lose here and there, but very few. Well, people do leave, Ollie, and YouTube does clean up the dead channels.
Yeah, and also spam channels, they just create bot accounts. So do you think there's a kind of a reason behind the word? What do you think the reasons are behind the word UFO being removed?
I thought about it. I have no idea. I can't tell you. It doesn't, like we just talked about. Why would they have the Tic Tac show up on the first search and you can't say UFO?
Do you think it's because whatever the narrative is that's trying to be spun is to actually try and get rid of the word UFO and replace it with UAP or whatever?
Right.
There's another one, isn't it? Because that's always connected with the Tic Tac, isn't it? Is UAP?
That's it. You got it. You did it.
All right. Good night.
Bye-bye. Good night, everybody. It was good meeting you. That's exactly right. Oh my God. Yeah.
So I was thinking, start using the hashtag UAP.
Yeah. I hate UAP.
I know it goes up against everything you believe in.
But gotta play to win. You can't just go against, the man or woman.
That's like a pickup truck. I could see a Toyota UAP. It's like it's half people carrier, half truck.
Wait,
I need a picture now.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, that go on.
No, go on.
It must be something like that, but it's not like why the word UFO is being sort of binned. It's like you say, it's the controlling I don't get, and it's the funneling of people and the burial of other channels and stuff. That's what I find most concerning, most interesting.
Well, maybe if you're not bringing in any money, maybe they will make it difficult for you. But I don't think that's true. I don't know. I think you have to get to 10,000 subscribers to have, that influence. Maybe the algorithm picks up on you more and opens up, the search for people to find your channel. I don't know.
I still think if it was just about making money, if that's what they were worried about, they're just concerned about the channels that make money, they would lift the monetization threshold and just say, look, if you put a video on YouTube, whether you've got 1 subscriber, 100,000 subscribers, you get revenue per view. If they were worried about money, that's what they do.
I guess so. Yeah, that's why I said I don't know if it's about that, but it's weird. It is about making content, something from nothing, though. That's what they want. They want us to create. And I know when I was taking other people's videos and using them and all this, I wasn't getting any subs. And then when I went to doing my live shows every night, basically, as things started opening up. But then again, that goes to third phase and the connection there. So I don't know. I'm a bad person to gauge on this one.
I think you do yourself a disjustice, Rich, because I think you deserve every single one that you gain, regardless.
So do I. Yeah.
of working with third phase. I've said before, and I've actually said in live streams when I've been on my own for a little bit before the guest arrives, I've said I can't do a GUFON. I can't be here on my own and do that. I don't know how you do it. But in regards to the UFO being removed from the algorithm, when you said about UAP, could there be another reason that it kind of like we always kind of joke in a conspiracy way that these big platforms are controlled from the people up high, maybe it's like was it 4chan that got taken down, or something got taken down where apparently they showed
was it H? Oh no, 4chan went for a day, didn't it, or an hour?
With an alien image, apparently, or a selfie, whatever it was. What if there's something that maybe is going to hit? Somebody up high knows about it, because we've been talking about this 180 days lead to disclosure for a bit now. I don't know how many more days are left of the bill. How many days are left, Rich?
I don't know, about 100.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. What if it's been taken out because something is gonna hit, and maybe somebody from up high has said, take as much out as you can out of. I mean, I wonder if there's other platforms that have kind of like trying to get the word out. What if something's going? What if something is? Sorry, I'll explain myself. What if there is some footage, an image, whatever? Something's going to hit. They know about it, and that it's got out of their control. Something's leaked, basically, like a WikiLeaks or whatever.
Yeah.
And they've taken that word out, UFO, because they're trying to control it as much as they can.
I don't think that would help. Yeah, as soon as if that was the case, first of all, if somebody has something, they probably want to put it out in the public eye real quick. You don't want to be a marked man forever. So I think that would happen rather quickly. But if it didn't, and they were plotting and planning a way to get this out to the public and keep themselves safe from whatever, yeah, I mean, it's very possible that they could be trying to hide us from finding that. But I don't know. It's too weird. I think Lee hit it right that they want us to talk about. I think maybe it's positive. What if they don't want us talking about UFO, but UAP would be great? Maybe we're thinking it wrong.
Maybe that's a good point.
Why does everything have to be so negative? Change doesn't always mean negative. It could be a positive thing. Just use UAP. They don't tell us that. I didn't get an email telling me, hey, you can't use, they don't do that stuff, YouTube, which I don't like. They should tell us what's not allowed anymore with an email to let us know we can't say this or show that. But trial and error, I guess. It's a good way to think about it, Lee. I think you might have something there.
We need to try it.
Yeah, could be positive.
Well, what was the thing Rogan was talking about in an episode the other day? When they put there was the video, wasn't there, with the UFO from the fighter jet, where it was like in the corner. And on Rogan's podcast, he said he'd been told by, as he put it, somebody that would know that photograph was a fake, but there is another photograph that they were about to release to the public, which was a high definition photograph of a triangular craft, and they decided to stop at the last minute.
Are you talking about the one with inside the fighter jet that was a Batman balloon that looked like the balloon?
No, is that one?
That's the one you're talking about. And then that was supposed to be some other photo, but they switched it for some reason, or didn't get out to the people in time. It's all a ploy for Tim McShillen's new website. That's all that was. Don't buy into that, because his website, the debrief is what it really is, just went public the day before. So he's been planning this with this other guy, Bob McGuire, about how can we get people over to the website, because his website crashed that day because everybody flooded the debrief and wanted to go see it. Huh?
Tim what?
Tim McShillen. He's a shill, but his name's Tim McMillan,
All right. I'm gonna
I think he's a shill. I think he's like Richard Brody. Yeah.
I actually thought his name was Tim McShill, and then I was going to say, and he's a shill.
That's great.
This is too good to be true.
All right, we'll just call him Tiny Tim. That's what we'll do.
Did you guys watch the Bigelow Rogan episode?
Yes, I've watched about nearly 2 hours so far.
Were you as surprised as I was of how little he seemed to know about everything?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I was, when you consider the amount of money he's put into it, I mean, first of all, that makes me, the fact that he didn't really have a lot of interesting stuff to say, like, like what we would consider interesting.
What would you want him to say? Yeah, we got some evidence.
I want him to say he found elves at Skinwalker Ranch, something like that. But it just makes me wonder. Like, I mean, this is probably not the right place to say this, but it makes you wonder if he's put so much time and so much money into it, he's given over 2 hours on the biggest platform in the world, and he has nothing to say. Maybe there's nothing to say.
Yeah, that's
maybe
true.
Maybe nobody knows anything.
Well, then how do you explain abductions?
Well, I'm not saying stuff isn't happening, but I'm saying like maybe there's no one out there with the magic bullet for things. Maybe the whole that idea of the government doesn't want to come out and say there's something flying around because they've just got no clue what it is.
Bigelow backed up what Bob has been saying. He was a believer in Bob Lazar. You know, sorry, not what Bob said, but what people said about. I think George said it. George Knapp said it about that. Bigelow had. What did Bigelow have to do with Bob? Didn't he sponsor him some money or something like that? I know Bob used to take him out into the to look at the UFOs.
Yeah, but he didn't say anything though, did he? I don't think.
No, but he kind of backed up his involvement with Bob Lazar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
You know, yeah, and I think that's stupid because Bob Lazar, I don't think, was really at S4. I think he was just part of a test, and he thought he was at S4. I think that was just an experiment and to see what would happen if we told this guy to do this. He was like a Manchurian candidate without actually being, a Manchurian candidate. I think they played him. He believed where he was actually happened. And that's my theory on it, because Stan Friedman said he didn't even know what a bathroom was, so that's it.
Well, just back up a little bit there, Rich. So what you're saying is that Bob believes everything he's saying, and he was in a mock-up. It was all a mock. He didn't really work there. How does he know? He went there in windows that were blacked out. They took him. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. So he's in a mock-up, but he's working on something. Now, fair enough, he's not. Maybe he doesn't have the degree in that, but whatever he was working on must have been, if he's telling the truth, that is.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out because there's a lot of holes in his story as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I would agree.
There might have been a UFO that he looked at. He even said the other ones that were in that warehouse, where some of them were laying on their sides, leaning up against walls, had covers over them. I mean, he said it was almost, that sounds like they were props, laying out in the background, but they made it look that way to him for some reason. It's just a weird story all around with no proof, really very little proof. Oh, he's in a phone book. You know how many Bob Lazars there probably are in the country? And it could have been anybody in that phone book. Doesn't mean it was him.
It seems like quite an odd name, though.
Bob Lazar.
Yeah, Bob Lazar.
Cool.
Laser Bob. It's weird. I mean, it's kind of like they're making fun of technology with Bob Lazar. I don't know, man. And Robert's the most common name, one of those common ones, Bob. I don't know, man. I think that Bob Lazar is just, I don't know. I think he was played and he believed it.
I did a podcast. So speaking of people that being put in places, to do a certain job. I did a podcast the other day with an ex-Scientologist. Everyone should go to Must See Audio and listen to that immediately because it's fucking great.
It's a good podcast.
Yeah, but when we were talking about that, I was talking about L. Ron Hubbard. And when I was doing a bit of research before the podcast, I was looking at this guy and the way he speaks and how he looks. And you just think, how is this person a real person? It's like this. He's like this character that was invented, had this ridiculous life, and then managed to create this ridiculous religion. And it's in the same sense as a Bob Lazar. Maybe these people are just fucking planted for some reason, just to see how people react to them, or if maybe it's nature peppering up the universe a little bit. But it's odd, isn't it, that you get these people that just, they have the gravitas, they have the access, and then they're also given the platform to tell their stories on.
So this is a true story. Before YouTube, before probably a lot of things in my life, when I first heard about Scientology, I said to my mom and dad, we were talking about religion one night, and I went, I think I'm a Scientologist. Just because I'd heard the word alien mixed in with it. But when you actually listen to it, like, which bit does the alien bit come in to it? I know it was this.
The aliens.
Yeah,
the Thetans of the aliens. They all escaped from a volcano, I believe, and then
they never speak about the exciting stuff, though. When you hear the Scientologists talk, they never speak about this. You just hear them talking about great food, how we should live as life. Talk about the freaking volcano.
It's always pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting when Tom Cruise starts talking about it.
Oh,
he jumps on tables.
Well, let's not forget that L. Ron Hubbard has the world record for most stories ever written, most books.
Yeah, most books ever published.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
isn't that wild? So this guy had a wild imagination.
There's a name for that, isn't there? Is it for when you can't stop writing?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
I don't know.
Yeah, that guy said it, but yeah. So Rich, where are you on the subject of Scientology?
Well, it's all bull crap. I don't even believe Catholicism or pretty much any religion. That's just me. I guess I'm an atheist. I believe there's something. I believe we come from something, and we call it a god because humans need some sort of ambition. Like they can't be afraid of death. So we're going to imagine there's this place where we go to where it's beautiful, and this way it quells the fear inside of us of dying. But then again, you get the people with near-death experiences. Yeah, we can't explain it because the brain's misfiring as you're dying and all that. So who knows? But Scientology comes from a place, from a person, from a mind of somebody who's very deranged, very sad, and it's just a way to control people and get them to do things. But I'm not saying that it's wrong to believe in something. People do need some sort of structure to get through this life, have some belief of this greater being. We talk about the Matrix. That's just as crazy as believing in this all-powerful in the sky, whatever. Going to go see all of our relatives and pets and everything. I don't know, man. I can't wait to find out, though.
Would you say that you lead more towards the kind of, in terms of the people visiting us from other planets? I know it's a hard one to answer, especially when you do a show that's about UFOs and aliens, but where would you find yourself?
As far as
what you believe in?
Well, I don't know.
I know you said you're an atheist, yeah? But you've obviously got some sort of spirituality. Where does that play in all this?
I don't know. It's the ultimate question. That's why I'm still doing this, and I'm hopefully going to find out that either there's aliens out there and we're calling them gods, or there's really this
Just gods
place
out there calling them aliens.
yeah. Yeah, it's everything goes back, to these old stories of these star people coming out of the sky, and I think that's interesting. If you look back in the ancient, pictures and depictions and little artifacts they find, it's very odd. These big-eyed, big-headed beings, and also human-looking, Nordic-looking people. Ezekiel with his wheel and all that, a wheel inside of a wheel, fire and all that. It's very interesting. So either we had the technology way back then, which is a possibility, which is why they hide a lot of this stuff they find in these archaeological sites, or that the aliens visited and didn't leave their tools behind, or they buried them. We can't find them. I don't know. But I think it's possible we may be the aliens ourselves. And what we are now is inside a place that we think is reality, but it's really a matrix reality. It could very well be. It explains a lot of the unknown, seeing ghosts and the objects moving and turning at 90 degrees at 30,000 miles an hour. It fills in a lot of the holes. If it was all a program. Like Bigfoot, people see Bigfoot, and then he disappears, all of a sudden. He's interdimensional. Well, maybe it was one of the alien workers coming down, one of his work outfits, whatever, and he just happened to look like Bigfoot. I don't know. It's just everything's weird. I say we don't live in reality, we live in a paranormal reality. It's weirder than we could ever imagine. So I don't know if there's a heaven or a hell. I don't think there is. But there's something, I believe, that our energy goes to. Because when you think about it, we're born, right? Somewhere along the line, the heart it just starts. How does that start? What starts the heart beating? What gives the brain its power, its neuron power? And how is it electrical in that way? If we die, they're going to, shock us to bring us back? Weird. That's weird. So what are we, an electrical being? Are we half robot? Maybe we're robots. We're growing.
Fleshy robots.
Yeah, maybe we are.
It's funny you should speak like that, because when I was younger, like way back, when I was like just a teenager, at home making little models and playing with all sorts of weird, lovely stuff, being very artistic. Don't do much these days. I used to kind of think that outside my window or behind me right now, there was nothing. So when I go upstairs, and my mom and dad were downstairs, I go into my bedroom. As soon as I left the room, they were not there. They were not kind of in existence anymore. It was just me, and it's like, there is no. It's almost like that God theory that you are God. Like the viewer, whoever's watching this right now, that we're here for their pleasure.
Like Fisher Price, my first sociopath.
So I Fisher Price.
Speak for yourself.
My first sociopath.
I don't think that anymore. It was just back then.
No, but that goes into the idea of the Matrix. You only need to see what's around you, and nothing could be behind you because you can't see it, but you can hear it. You can feel it. I know outside there's wind and cars driving by. So there's stuff happening even if you can't see it, which is weird.
I like to leave my family in another room. I leave my family in another room, and I like to be able to do that. If I just close the door, I destroy them by not being in the room with them.
Yeah, if that was true, that theory though, when I'm in the kitchen, like tonight, for example, I was tidying up in the kitchen and my little boys were in here. And I literally just walked in and I went, "Oh, I'm interviewing tonight." They were just like literally, you couldn't see the carpet for toys. Which usually I just try, there is stuff that I just shove underneath here. Like here, you see, there you go. Just found a car, random piece of Lego.
Oh my god!
This that he kindly built me today.
Oh, cool.
Shit.
You broke it.
Oh, that's from Tron.
Okay.
Isn't that
Looks
the Tron?
like it's from Tron, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's what's it called?
I don't know. The
Duplo.
Off-
Duplo, the big, the girthy version of Lego. So back to the subject that we're not supposed to be talking about, UFOs.
we can
UAPs.
talk about it. We just can't use the acronym in titles.
Okay. You should, but what if we even say it? Does the,
Yeah,
does
you
the
can say it.
algorithm not pick up on the word UFO?
Well, apparently you can say it. Just don't put it in a place where it's like the tabs, the search tabs and the title. And I think you'll be okay. They're not gonna recommend it.
So I can't remember who said it. Somebody said they're doing it to kind of stop the spam UFO channels that are just spamming UFO footage. But if you look in the grand scheme of things of YouTube, the UFO platform is probably a speck. It's a little tiny speck of dust. It's a little grain.
unless it's just getting lumped in with all conspiracies now.
Well, I know when I put the UFO acronym in a title, I shouldn't say it, but Anon shows up under the Wikipedia. And it's like, oh, well, that's bullcrap. I don't want that. People think that I'm a shill myself because they thought that YouTube put it there to warn people what I am, that I'm associated with them. And I thought that's kind of crappy.
Well, you see that on the flat Earth channels or anything. You see, you see a little, and they're my kind of like. It's a guilty pleasure. I kind of like to watch a bit of flat Earth now.
But that's another one. That's another one that's been very, very close to be like eradicated as far as being able to find easily, isn't it?
Hey, yeah.
It's, so I mean, I'm not a flat earther myself, but I know if you search for flat Earth on YouTube, all you get is the debunking videos of it up. You never get any of the big sort of channels. The big flat Earth channels are bigger than the debunking channels, which are coming up first in the search. So that's odd. Yeah. But like you said before about things getting credence, that gives these arguments more credence where they probably don't deserve that much. If anyone's interested in flat Earth, I've got a 3-hour podcast about flat Earth because must see audio. It's about 2 episodes ago.
Shameless plug.
Was that with 007?
No, that was I had another one after that.
Oh no, he's a globe denier. Sorry, yeah.
So it was due to a overwhelming negative feedback about him as a guest, I had to get another globe denier on to set the record straight.
Yeah, when I interviewed him, a lot of people didn't like him. I thought he was a charming fellow, but
my problem was if you're going to come on a platform and talk about something, at least believe in something. I don't know what that guy believes in. I think to me, he seems to be sticking a load of things together, throwing as much muck at a wall and hoping one of them sticks YouTube-wise so he can make a channel around it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the opinion I got.
I mean, sometimes though in life, people just don't have. I mean, if you asked me, what do I believe in terms of when it comes to what you were just talking about then, Rich, about religion?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Right, I know.
Literally no idea. I'll sit in church. My wife will grab. Come on, we're going to church. I'm sat there and I'm thinking, I'm listening. I think this is all very nice, and I can't be doing with the handshaking.
Peace be with you.
That makes me feel a little bit weird. But I just like fist bump. But
good elbow. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Elbows in.
Can you even go in a church now?
I don't think so. I think you can now in some places. Yeah,
you can't here.
Yeah, in America, a lot of things are opening up now. Well, I say a lot. Probably 17 out of the 50 states will be opening up within a month, fully. Texas already did. Florida did. Where I'm moving, a couple others. Yeah, we knew it as soon as what's his name this administration took over, we knew that all of a sudden, it's disappearing magically. Well, it's not magically. There's the vaccine and all that, but it's just all bull crap. I think, anyway. I don't want to get into that, but for another show.
Yeah, because my channel might be just taken down.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I didn't say
This is
the
what
word.
we have to live with YouTube.
That's sad.
That might be what I got a community guideline strike for. That show got 10 views before it was pulled down, and I was shouted at.
Wow, that's crazy.
And considering how small my channel is as well, I only put it up for like curiosity, just to see whether the algorithm did everybody, because the guy I had on was he's got some pretty controversial views, as in it's not real type thing, or he's an interesting fellow. He's starting legal proceedings on the government on the island I live in, because we're a small island, but we're self-governing. We've got our own parliament and stuff like that. And he wants to start legal proceedings to get them into a new Nuremberg trial type situation.
So they can go and watch that on Spotify, yeah, Lee?
Yeah. It's cool.
We can't talk about it on here.
Oh no. I don't think any of that. That's just a synopsis.
I don't trust it when it comes to such a sore subject.
Big C little V.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which the world we live in is we can't speak our mind.
Well, we can do. People just need to stop worried about things like if everybody on YouTube decided, actually, fuck this, we'll just do what we want to do, then they would have to change their policy.
No, they don't.
They would, because you'd run out of people. Like it would take enough people to get behind it, or enough people to go to a different platform. That's
a hypothesis that would never happen. But yeah, of course, because they wouldn't be making money. They'd have to change something. But that would have to, all the advertisers would have to pull out too, and it would be a snowball effect. But that's the only way it would happen if everybody did it at once.
This is the beginning of the end of YouTube, though. This is the beginning of the end of YouTube being the cool platform that people go to.
Yeah,
definitely. All it's going to take is, BitChute seems to be the closest competitor. But even now, I don't know if any of you have done the dance.
I've got my account ready.
Yeah, I've got an account as well. Exactly. Yeah, you've got to do a little dance. You've got to sacrifice a goat in the back garden to some sort of god, which I forgot the name of, to get it to upload. It's just not right. And even there's no you complain about the YouTube search algorithm, but at one point the search algorithm used to help everybody, didn't it? Because it would direct people to where you wanted to go. There's fucking none of that on BitChute. It's none of it. So unless you know what you want to see, it's difficult to find anything.
It's a horrible name too. It's the worst name I ever heard. It's awful.
Somebody said, "Are you on BitChute?" And I actually thought, and this is when Bitcoin was about, I thought it was something to do with Bitcoin.
Yeah, yeah, I thought it was a term for it.
Well, it is blockchain, isn't it? The BitChute, isn't that where it's there? The idea, but when I don't think you can delete videos from BitChute, can you? I don't think so. When it's there, I think.
Reminds me of Poop Shoot.
That's a different website.
No, but I know, but that's what I think of when I hear BitChute. I'm like,
Well, I mean, I've made a little backup BitChute channel just in case.
Yeah,
it goes pear shape. It was the hardest. It took me a day just to upload my logo.
Yeah, I know it's a pain in the ass. If I was you guys, YouTube's something that I rarely dip my feet to. I think I'm going to do something. I've got an idea for my own YouTube channel that I might do over the coming days. But if I was you guys, I would just simultaneously upload everything to BitChute. You might as well, because if something terrible was to happen tomorrow, and all of a sudden they said, right, look, we're getting rid of all conspiracy theories off YouTube, then you start from scratch on a new platform.
Rich hasn't got enough years left in his life to be able to upload all the videos that he's done.
No, we just start. Make tomorrow the first day of your life, guys. Just start from then and go forward.
I figure BitChute's going to be taken down if it gets too big anyway. It's all going to be monopoly. They'll buy him out. It's over.
Which one? I used to be on it as well. I can't remember. And that lasted not long. And it was like a little face, little round face. I can't remember the name of it. I used to be on it. I can't remember. I used to upload videos to it, but I was on whatever it was. I was on it, and it's gone now. There you go. Carry on. I can't remember the name of it.
No, I don't know. Yeah, something like BitChute needs someone, like, depending on whether he's to be trusted or not. If he is to be trusted, that it needs someone like a Musk to buy it. Because he's making quite a lot of noises about freedom of speech and worries on people giving liberty up. And what you need is somebody with fuck you money just to buy it and leave the people that bought it in charge of it. So look, I want a return on my investment, but just keep running it.
It won't work.
And Musk. Sorry, we'll go.
No,
Rich.
go ahead, go
No.
ahead.
You go.
No. You've given up your right to speak already twice. Go ahead.
I would just say the idea of Elon Musk creating a YouTube platform, he'd do it because everything that man touches is.
It makes more sense. It makes more sense than him making spaceships. He got into the fucking game of making money through PayPal, didn't he? So it makes more sense than spaceships.
He's looking right at Lee.
Just did that on Photoshop. It took me 5 seconds.
It looks like him. I mean, it's really him.
He is looking at you, Lee. He's looking right at you.
He's saying, "Come to Mars. We have great things to show you."
I do like Elon.
I like him. Yeah. I'm glad.
I just want him to be right. That's all. I don't. It would be shite if he turned out to be just like all the rest of them.
He doesn't have to be. He doesn't need anybody's money.
Oh no. I agree with you. I want to be in. I want to be in. But then I see that fucking spaceship he's making, the starships, and think, that doesn't look like something that's going to take anybody to Mars, does it?
Yeah, it is.
Really? Is it?
How much different does it look than any other rockets? It's the same cylindrical shape, just with the wings in a different place.
Maybe I'm hung up on the fact it doesn't have a window, but it's just because it looks like something from a 70s sci-fi. But again, he's openly said that's because he wanted it to look like 70s sci-fi. So I don't know.
Who cares as long as it gets there, right?
Yeah, as long as it gets there. I tell you what, see if it doesn't get there. See in 10 years' time, if there isn't Musk people walking around Mars, I'm joining Team Fat Earth, because in 10 years' time, if we haven't got there, there's another reason why we haven't gone there. So
yeah, it's really difficult to keep people alive.
Keep me a fucking space by the ice wall if we're not there in 10 years.
What's going to happen though? I mean, in terms of this is what I've always said this. When you've got a man like this that's got the power that he's got, the money he's got, and he seems to have a good sense of humor. If I was him, I would go and grab the biggest flat earther and I'd say, "Listen, I'm going to launch you into space."
Right.
How do you like them apples?
Could you imagine having the money and power to the fact that you could turn around and say that to somebody and mean it? Just, I'm going to put you in space. How do you like that?
Which they are going to be doing in 3 to 5 years anyway with the space hotel.
Yeah, they're doing that one with the moon run out there, where that was weird. That was weird though. That one, I think, was it a Japanese or Chinese guy?
Yeah, Chinese.
That bought every single seat. Good, because he wanted it. No, but because it's just a bit weird though, isn't it? So this, it's going to be a commercial. Anybody can go on it. Anybody,
Yeah.
we could load. Anybody could go on that, but no, one guy has bought every single seat, and he's going, I think, on his own, or he's going to take a few of his friends.
They'll probably
That's weird.
change that. They can't do that.
That is
That's
weird.
stupid. That's not fair. That to me is like they're gonna lie about what's up there.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Did you see the mouse?
Yes, I did. That was weird. I want to watch that video again. Do you have it on the ready somewhere?
I mean, I don't know.
We
if
could just
anyone
type it in. I'll find it real quick.
if you could share it.
That was incredible. Weird. That was so weird. It looks like it's a mouse.
I think it was just a bit of like foil that just happened to roll into a mouse shape and that mouse.
How fast would that have been going? About 700 mile an hour at that point, or
no,
more?
it was like 16,000 miles an hour. If they already made
Was
it
it
through
at that
space,
point? Oh, Jesus Christ!
right? Isn't that true? That's how much does it take to get up into space? How fast do we got to go? Right, 17,000 miles an hour.
No idea. Chat.
Yeah,
This is
17,500 miles an hour. So when they got up in space, they were probably around 15, 16,000.
There will. There's some clever guys in the chat. Somebody will know exactly how fast it was going.
It
I have
is
no
17,500 miles an hour.
Well done.
Which incidentally is 1 mile an hour too slow to displace a mouse. How weird!
I found it here. Let me pull it up. Is there a mouse on SpaceX Dragoon? All right, you want me to play this then?
Oh, as long as the guy of the channel of the mouse doesn't give me a copyright strike.
I
think that'll be open source.
No, you can't. It's NASA. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't
Well, Scott C. Waring tried. He put a gerbil on Mars, and I showed a picture of it, and he copyright struck me for it.
Look, mate, there's been many videos I've seen where gerbils have been put in very strange places.
This guy has 69 subscribers, so we'll be all right. And it's Nasser. All right. And we're not going to play the whole thing. And we've already shrunk it down. Here we go. Right around here. Right there it is up there.
I don't care what you say. That is.
Oh, this is a bad copy of it. That's blurry.
Mm.
I don't care what you say.
There's a better version. That's awful.
The thing is, though, if it as the
problem is
conspiracy,
it runs back. That's the problem. If it just went down and then stayed there, you go, it's a bit of stuff in it.
Yeah.
Stage is on its
Let's
way
try
to
this.
drop off
Yeah, this is a
Dragon
better
into
one.
its target.
Here we are.
As a reminder, the first
There
stage
it
had an
is.
on-time launch today at 12:29 p.m. Eastern Time, just a few minutes ago,
Right.
in a nominal ascent.
That's it.
As I mentioned earlier,
I
you
think
see those
they do
grid
a
fins
blow up
deployed.
here.
The stage is on
Here
its
we
way
go.
to drop off Dragon into its targeted orbit.
There it
As a
is.
reminder, the first stage
No,
had an on-time
that's.
launch
Oh my
today
God!
at
It does look like a
oh,
mouse.
it's got fucking ears.
minutes. and
Watch.
the second stage
I've never seen this one. Not this bit.
drop off Dragon into its
Here we go.
targeted orbit. As a reminder, the
Dude.
first stage had
Dude, the
an
legs are
on-time
moving and
launch
it's sticking
today.
to the. Oh no! And it's Lee TV.
How weird.
That is. See, that's what I call.
Synchronicity.
Thank you.
That's probably the best quality one I've ever seen.
I knew there was a better one out there. Yeah, there's some good ones out there. Isn't that wild?
What I'd like is for SpaceX to go, well, no, that wasn't a mouse. This is what it is, and it's something that goes round the thing that tries to cool the engine. It happens to look a little bit like a mouse. In fact, they call it the mouse.
How come we've never seen it again before or after on any other flight? Look, there's pictures when the shuttle was going up of I don't know if you've ever seen it. You know how people say, oh, space is fake and all this. There was a picture that says there's a video that says there's gods in space. And you see the shuttle flying through space. You know, the camera's watching it from behind wherever the ISS, I don't know. And all of a sudden you see a guy, like a worker just showing up in the background.
I've seen it. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, geez. And he gets out of the picture frame.
It's so weird. It looks like he's behind a glass window, looking at a model, essentially, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. That's really weird.
There's another one where they were showing an interview, And then somebody took footage of them in doing the interview from someone's house in the garage. And they had all the setup of space and everything behind them.
That's less than ideal. My favorite one of those things is some of the ISS footage, which looks odd. Like, have you seen the one where the guy floats down the hallway, then goes into the doorway, but he
disappears?
He blends out before the doorway. Well, he's clearly gone through a Photoshop mask. There's nothing about it. That's clearly an after effect. And I just that's the sort of thing that makes you wonder, like, why that's clearly a manipulated image. So why manipulate it?
Well, I think that was the augmented reality that they use, right? Isn't that what it's called when it's live? And you see the guy grabbing something that isn't there and he's placing it on the shelf. Yeah. I mean, all that stuff. Huh?
If you're just doing that stuff in space, why would you need to fake doing it in space?
Because it gets money. I don't know. Whatever their nefarious reasons are for having a fake NASA do all this stuff is to give us the impression that something really is happening up in space, when in fact we're talking to freaking aliens building things on Mars and the moon. For all I know.
See, I'd take that if the idea was that your forward-facing NASA is just a military front. Because we're building battleships and all sorts of. I would take that. The only thing I have to. What I don't understand is how you'd hide it, because space is massive, and it's not like what we do with military bases on Earth is we bury them. We dig underground, we bury them underneath.
Yeah.
So if there was loads of stuff in the sky that's different countries, it's because if the US have got some sort of covert space program, China have, Russia have, India have.
Yeah.
So where are the pictures getting leaked of the different countries and things like that? And
well, China's communistic. Russia's under a tight regime. These places just aren't gonna. If you do something, they'll kill you. And in our countries, you go to trial or you just go to an island somewhere. But seriously, that these people
don't come back.
Right? They have the fear of God.
It's not that island with the really weird, like, blue and white striped building with the gold dome on top of it.
No. You're in the blue room. Is it blue? Is it blue or is that just me?
No, my lights are blue.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, I've got funky color. LED lights underneath my table.
So is it without the risk of getting into trouble? But I mean, where are you both on the moon landings?
Oh, I think they happened.
Do you think the footage is real? And do you think you've muted? Oh, there you go. I was just going to say. I wonder if you've muted your mic. But do you think the footage is real? That's my one. Like, I don't know if we went to the fucking moon or not. No fucking idea. But I do know there should be dust on that lander. I do know the shadows don't look right. I know that the crosses on the photography plates appear to be behind and in front of objects. You know why? I know there's a rock with C written on it, which is odd.
Yeah, you got to think like a liar, not a conspiracy theorist. You got to think like the government. They went to the moon, but they made movies and took pictures just in case they didn't make it. And I think they had a backup plan. And I'll tell you why. There was a guy who has this incredible video, and he explains why we went to the moon, because they ran that first and all the missions live on TV 24/7 without. Now, if that was all recorded and then put up or whatever, you would have miles and miles of movie reels of that stuff, 35 millimeter, and the footage would never break. Camera projectors would break after a while, the bulb would burn out. I mean, that stuff didn't happen. And what I find weird, though, just a few years ago, we cannot find any of that stuff anymore anyway. in a nanosecond we'd go back, but we don't have the footage anymore. I mean, that to me is just crazy. How do you
That
lose the most
guy's
historic
crazy.
thing? Yeah,
I mean, he comes across as a stupid person.
he does.
And I do not believe. Like I'd be surprised if he's capable of driving, let alone piloting a spacecraft.
But another weird thing is, and this is what bothers me, is that lander that they used. They couldn't get it. What was his name? Not Buzz Aldrin, but the first guy who stepped on the moon.
He died. He died. No. Is this the lander which crashed on Earth when they were testing it? There's footage of it all over the place.
Yeah, there's no way that you can't practice in zero gravity. So,
well, didn't the guy that was supposed to take Neil Armstrong's place? Didn't he die in that?
Well, he died in a fire, I believe. There was the first crew. Are you talking about the three that died in the test thing?
Yeah. That's who died in. They died
Russ
in
Grisham. Russ Grisham was his name.
Yeah. And didn't he die like a couple of days after saying there is no way we can do this with the technology we have?
He put a picture. He had a lemon and he connected it to a hanger and hung it on the launcher and said, "This is a lemon." And then a couple of days later, he was dead. Well, all three of them.
What a coincidence!
Yeah, it's amazing. They died without even taking off.
Who'd have known that he was that allergic to lemons?
What was that?
Who'd have known he was that allergic to lemons?
Apparently, lemons aren't supposed to be near those things. Those launchers. No, they did. It burns through it.
That was. It was something to do with the oxygen levels, wasn't it? That where it all went into flames and then very. I mean, I hope my dad's not watching this because he gets very angry with me if I mention anything about us not going to the moon. He says
my dad's the same.
Yeah,
same with my dad. Yeah,
he says I watched it on television. I saw it.
I also saw a 40-foot gorilla.
But I'm kind of in your box there, Rich, that maybe there was a backup. There was for the times that America was going through with Russia. Maybe Lee boy and my boy Cubic had something to do with it.
As
backup,
someone that's a film fanatic, I'd say. Am I gone?
No,
you hear me? All right. Sorry, just my video
is freezing up a little.
When you look at like the rear screen, it's either front screen projection or rear screen, and I think it's rear screen projection. But when you look at the draw distances in 2001, they are very similar to the draw distances on the moon landing footage. And considering he pioneered that footage, I'm a Stanley Kubrick fucking nerd. Like, in fact, to the point where as soon as my island comes out of lockdown on the 9th of April, I'm having the Shining carpet tattooed down my arm. So that's how much of a Stanley Kubrick nerd I am.
I love that pattern, Lee. That pattern. When I get the studio sorted, that's going to be in the background.
Well, let's. I'll show you what I'm going to do is for the people not listening on the podcast. I'm going to get my forearm from up to there with the Shining pattern, and then interlocking into that, it's going to be the pattern of the carpet in the dead room with the old woman in it, the purple one. And then that's going to go down the rest of my arm. So it's going to be like a half sleeve of cubic carpet.
For a man who has zero tattoos because my mum would disown me, that's a clever tattoo.
I'm doing it just quickly, but before I turn middle-aged. If I can do it quickly before I turn middle-aged, it's not a midlife crisis.
Do you have any tattoos, Rich?
No. I'm glad I didn't get any.
Ain't touching that body.
No.
Mine either. Ever.
No. If I do get one, it'll be of me, but just taller.
So, 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 so Lee, you're like, you kind of, you're on the benchmark of Kubrick did.
I think he was involved in the filming of what we saw. Yeah. And as far as going, I've no idea. I do find it strange that the moon rocks that we sort of analysed later turned out to be like petrified wood. That's odd. It's not. It's the thing is, all these little things. If you were taking it to court and that turned up, you go, "This is you were the defence." You'd be taking NASA into a room and saying, "Look, like lads, we have got an issue here. Like you didn't tell me about the wood. We can get around the fact that there was no dust, but the wood's a problem."
Have you ever seen? I don't, Rich. Have you ever seen? We could probably bring it up. There's a live. I don't know if it's real, but there's a live feed. Have you seen the live feed of the thing that's flying around the moon?
I don't know. There's so many things. I don't know what thing.
The satellite with a camera on it, and it's filming the moon's surface. It looks weird.
I don't understand.
It really does look. So on YouTube, yeah. Do you remember do you remember we used to be lucky enough to get the ISS constantly live?
Yeah.
There's a broadcast of some moon footage.
Oh, okay. Of the orbiter going around and it captured something?
No. It's just you can see the full surface. It's in full HD quality. It looks amazing. It just looks odd. It just looks it kind of looks CGI. It doesn't look real.
Yeah, well, there's no atmosphere to distort the picture. You're seeing it probably for the first time in 4K or HD. The moon is a weird anomaly. A lot of people think it has scars from, if you've ever heard of it, electric space. Like it was hit with electricity.
Yeah.
And it scarred the moon. And it really does look like that's what happened. And it could have happened to Earth at the same time. Mars maybe didn't survive it either. And because Mars still has winds and all that, dust, it probably covered up the scars. I'm just throwing it out there. But yeah, it is weird. I know. I thought the same thing. It looks so good. It looks fake.
No,
we're on the fakey moon stuff. The one that really got me was was it 2 years ago, the moon transit of Earth, where you see the moon going across Earth. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
That's I wouldn't say that, apart from like the odd ISS stuff, which I think is weird, and even the moon landing stuff. I wouldn't say like I definitely think. I don't think it's right. I think there's something funky with it. That moon transiting Earth is fake. That's fake as fuck. Like nothing changed. When you think of the amount of time that it takes for the moon to transit Earth, to go that far across it, which is like the whole of the side, and there's no morphing of weather patterns on the Earth. It's not right when you look at it.
I know.
Have you seen it?
It does look weird.
It does not.
Are you talking about the one that you see the moon and it looks like a CGI moon going around the Earth?
Yeah,
that one. I mean, that's fake. That's not real. It's fake.
No,
can't be real.
There's one that's supposed. If you Google, if you have a look on YouTube for the moon transit Earth, I think it is, isn't it?
Okay.
And it's only a short video. It's like 10 seconds or something like that, and it just goes across the face of the Earth. That's supposed to be real. And if that's real,
feel free to bring out anything.
He's real.
Is it the NASA one? The 20-second one? Yeah, here it is.
I think so, yeah.
You got it, Ollie?
I haven't got it.
Yeah, I got it. You're talking about this one. Let me share it. There you go. This one.
Yeah.
This one? I don't know why it's going like this. It must be the video. Yeah, it's the way the video is. Yeah, that's not real.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, right. Really? I thought this was...
No.
I thought they just put it in there.
Supposed to be real as well. No, I think it's
Yeah, well,
it's
it is
supposed
by
to be real.
NASA. It's a NASA
Yeah.
video.
What's it
I don't
say there in the
understand.
description? What's the description say?
This animation features
Ah, there we go.
I see.
Hold
I
on.
thought that was.
Hey, hold on.
I-
It says it features actual satellite images of the far side of the moon illuminated by the sun as it crosses between the DSCOVR.
Yeah, so it's an animation. In fact, it's a lot of still images
Yeah,
stuck
it's not
together.
real.
Yeah, well, it is
Yeah,
real.
but
it's
well,
just,
it is
Well,
real,
it's
but it's
real,
still
but
it's
yeah,
photographed.
the moon is an animation. That's not even the real moon. This is the whole thing's fake. It's
no,
just
but
showing.
but it just said there satellite images of the moon thing.
Yeah, I know.
I think that's supposed to be right. That's supposed to be the moon. That's supposed to be Earth. It's just still images stitched together to make a video.
Yeah, yeah. You thought you were going to get a real image?
No,
It's
but,
NASA.
well, no,
It's not-
but they still think they've put that out as if it's a real thing, and it looks
Never a straight
fucking weird.
answer.
Well, so what are you saying then? They're hiding something from us?
Well, do you not think that's weird that NASA put that out? I'm reasonably convinced I know people that could do a better job in Blender of doing that.
Yeah, that's if they're doing like full motion CGI and all that. NASA's just putting something up to give a description of what it is. They don't need. Why would they give us full
While
video?
you're on there, bring up the moon live.
All right.
If you put moon live footage,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I want to find out if this is like if it's just like a
This is a replay, but it's from 2 years ago. But this is real.
Yeah, this is
I'll
the
say
one that
I'll
I've
say
seen.
that looks like real footage of
It's
a
incredible.
big rock. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take that.
Here's what I don't like, though. Anytime we see the Mars, the moon, we never see stars anywhere, even with the ISS. I don't like
I think
it.
it's exposure, though, isn't it? I think.
It is, but why don't they just show us one time what clear space would look like? Fix the exposure
Yeah.
for 20 minutes. It's bullshit.
Yeah, or fuck the exposure on the rock and show the stars.
Sorry.
You know,
Yeah,
it's,
No, that's fine. So,
yeah, exactly.
I, for one, I believe that we definitely kind of went up there, but I did question. I had this argument with my dad. I
Mhm.
said, we've got. I said back then when they went to the moon, 1969. Yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
Yep. They had good. They could film amazing cinematic. Look at Kubrick's film, 2001: Space Odyssey, amazingly filmed. Surely that if they were going to the moon, take a fucking great camera, and film some brilliant stuff. I know you can't broadcast that back. I know that. It's probably going to be hard and it will be broken up. And that's the reason why you got that footage looking the way it did. But how come? I mean, apparently they lost a lot of footage. They lost the moon footage. Surely that's a big deal. You went to the moon the first time, we lost a lot of footage. It happens, But why do we not see kind of anything documented? You would have thought that Buzz would have had that camera on Neil walking down them stairs in amazing, the best quality it could possibly be at the time, recording the moment that he put his foot on the surface of the earth and then going down with the camera. You would have thought that would happen because you can't say that they did not have the technology to be able to film it decent quality images, because they did. They were making great movies.
Yeah,
that's my problem with it.
Well, they had great cameras. They had the Hasselblads. Those were the best of the best.
Mhm.
But they also had to
and
modify them for the gloves they were wearing and all this stuff. And there was only so many cameras that you could modify that way.
And that's another issue I've got is with those cameras, is that on that day they all seem to turn into pretty fucking phenomenal photographers, especially phenomenal photographers that couldn't look down a viewfinder of a camera.
Well, I mean,
but even shot composition, like that's the thing. It's not like the. I mean, I don't claim to be a photographer. I quite like photographs, but when you look at the shot composition of those pictures, yeah, it's. I don't think some of those pictures can be taken by accident. You'd be so lucky to get some of those. The way they've been shot.
I mean,
All
I
in
don't
focus.
know. I don't know their background in how they. Maybe NASA did train them.
No, but
had to take a good
that,
picture.
that's
that
fine,
would make
but
sense
They did.
to me.
They trained for
But
that.
imagine sticking your phone on your chest and then walking around trying to take decent pictures.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot. I mean, I've actually got an archive on my computer here when I was just addicted to getting NASA images, and there are a lot of really shit ones. There are a lot of blurred ones
From the moon landings.
Yeah, that you can't make out. If you go through if you actually go through all the archives,
because I thought the on the first moon landing, they only had like a certain amount of shots between them, didn't they?
Yeah,
and
honestly,
I have an awful lot of good shots.
I've got hundreds of pictures on this computer where when I used to be obsessed with trying to look for evidence of alien life on the moon.
Yeah.
And there's so many of them that are just out of focus, blurred, really bad shot. So, and I can,
maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Maybe they had enough. They had enough film to just keep taking photographs, but
there are the ones that looks like they've been taken by a proper professional, but
and they said they got lucky when they got those really good ones too. There was no viewfinder; they just had to aim it. They didn't know where they were looking.
Exactly but that's what I'm saying. Some of those pictures, I just don't believe that you would take pictures that well in focus and have these shots composed and modeled the way they are by accident. Some of those pictures are the type of photos that you would take a day with a professional photographer and a set to get one of them.
Not really. I've taken perfect pictures many times. It didn't need any editing or anything like that. Like you said, you're not a photographer, so you wouldn't know. But I'm just saying they did get very bad photos and very good photos and everything in between. So yeah, they got lucky. You're right. It's very hard to believe, but it's true. And I also think it goes back to what I said in the beginning. They probably faked some just in case and took the real ones too. They also left all those cameras back from that Apollo 11 mission. They never took the cameras home. They threw them all on the moon and left them there. And then they went to Kodak after that. So
was that just a weight thing? Was there a lot of stuff they left just to keep weight down the way back?
Yeah. Well, once they were used, they couldn't use them again for whatever reason. I don't remember, but they just left them on the moon. There's dozens of them up there.
I mean, to bring it back kind of in line with the field of UFOs, and to mention an astronaut. I mean, I interviewed Ray Hernandez, and he was speaking about his involvement with the late Edgar Mitchell, and he had a weird experience that Ray sat for hours with him talking about his experience. I think it was the 6th man to go to the moon.
I think you're right.
Yeah, and he had I've forgotten the name of the experience that lots of astronauts apparently have it, and when they're in space, they have this moment when they're kind of like, it's almost like a different sense kicks in their entire body. And Ray was talking about this, saying that Edgar Mitchell sat with him for hours talking about this, but he also had a big belief in these extraterrestrial visitations, and he had the Edgar Mitchell Foundation of something or other. But why would an astronaut, put his kind of like credibility on the line and tell people stuff like this before. I mean, it was quite a bit before he died, but NASA tried to sue him. I don't know if you know about this, for some of the equipment that he had, that he actually took back. So this is what reminded me, when you're talking about them dumping the cameras and stuff like that on the moon, he pulled the joystick off the lander and took it back with him.
Good for him.
And he took some of he took one of the cameras.
Yeah,
and these were all souvenirs, but NASA tried to, they were going to sue him because he had this equipment, and they were saying that he had no right to take it. Why would a massive company like that do that? Because this was on the news as well. There's an actual news article of NASA potentially suing Edgar Mitchell because of the stuff that he had, that he took.
It's not just the company though, is it? It just takes one job's worth. You know, it just takes one job's gone. Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do the joystick. That's NASA property.
Yeah, but then when we're talking about them maybe not going, you know, it's a little bit weird that there's so many different stories. It would almost have to be like when you go back to talking about Bob Lazar, every single one of these astronauts is going to have to be paid off or have a certain role. Or maybe they don't even know. Maybe they are. Maybe they're in the sea and they think they're in space. They have no idea.
Armstrong himself was an interesting character afterwards, didn't it? Because he just disappeared.
Who
was it? Neil Armstrong. Very, very near. You know, he do like the one? Was it like one public appearance after that?
That's one or two. He did not want to talk about it, and you think these guys who are heroes would want to talk about it?
And like I don't mean to make assumptions here, but you American guys aren't known for being the most bashful of people when it comes to succeeding.
How dare you say something like that? You're right, though. We like that. We like that recognition. That's for sure. But he did not want to talk.
Armstrong was always kind of like that, though. Even before he went to the moon, when you saw him in interviews, I mean, that guy went through a pretty, very successful man, but he went through a bit of a shit life with his daughter passing away early on, and you know, the man, he looked like a bit of a broken man from the get go. He did, and maybe that's just his kind of personality. And I think if that had happened to any mother or father, you know, whether you've been to the moon or not, you know, you're never gonna escape that kind of like look of I'm destroyed, you know.
Yeah.
Rich Northwood dropping in the knowledge again. Because I was just going to bring this up, that the speech he did in front of the school kids, where he starts talking about how there's still so many things we can discover if we just remove like truth's protective layers.
Yeah,
it's odd thing to say, Neil. Odd thing to say. Even the interview with when they came back, you know, and they all sat in the line. I mean, I can put it to exhaustion, maybe. Or just being scared. You know, they look
like somebody had died. They look like somebody had died on the journey. And they'd come back. They'd had a successful journey, but something really bad had happened.
You know what happened? That was awful. They were told they can't talk about anything.
Yeah.
How do you feel that you're being deemed a hero by the world and you got to go and lie to them now?
Yeah. The only other thing I could say is to go in the idea of maybe it's all being on the level and all right, fine, would be trauma. Like the idea of surviving what they've done, like you'd be shocked. Like obviously it's nothing like going to the moon, but I had a really weird thing that happened years ago when I was on a train. I was on a train coming back from London to Liverpool. And it was during the proper height of the looking for bags and stuff like that, you know, no unattended luggage around the place. And me and my friend found a bag under the seat, and then when we pulled the pieces of paper out from the bag, it had designs on it for how to make a mercury triggered bomb on it. So we took those to the train driver. He shouted at me for not giving them to him before we left. I shouted back at him saying, we were fucking moving, otherwise you'd have had them. And Ollie, you'll get this, the panic more than anyone that doesn't know stuff. We just got out of London, maybe a stop out of London. Right. This is the train we were on. We were going London to Liverpool, and we didn't stop from just outside London to Warrington, and we stopped at Warrington.
That would have been the most painful journey.
Well,
I would have had to. I'd have had to.
The weird thing was, you're always asking yourself. You always ask yourself, what would you do in an odd situation like that, and how your mind would work. The in between parts of carriages where you get the small metal section which only has the tiny window in it. Yeah. The first thing that came to my mind was, I need to get my friends and we need to go and sit in there. And I gathered all my friends together. I said, look, we're just going to have to wait here until it goes. And then when they were saying why, I said, because if the train derails, we won't get dragged down the outside if the window breaks. It was just such an odd place for your head to be. But the reason I was bringing that story up is as soon as we got off the train, and I was actually sort of off. I used the phone to ring me dad up to tell him what had happened. I fucking broke down, and I don't even know if it was any danger, but it was the idea of maybe being in danger and maybe getting out of danger. And it was a horrible feeling afterwards. So I could understand why going to the moon and coming back, you might be a bit shook.
Yeah.
All of them, though? I don't know.
It's a pretty big thing, man. I mean, the
moon.
They trained for it for years. They should be cool about it. There's no way they should act that way.
That's fair. I agree with you more than I agree with myself. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Oh, I know, but I'm just playing it back. It's weird. I don't think they should have acted that way. I don't know.
Here's the thing: when it comes to people that says we never went to the moon, it didn't happen. When you watch that interview and people say, look at the faces, they didn't go to the moon, I would say that's more of a sign that they did go to the moon. But there is something very, very wrong.
Wow.
Because if NASA, the government or whatever, they got a bunch of people and said, look, we need to beat the Russians to the moon, or space doesn't exist, the Earth's flat, whatever.
Yeah.
We need you to go. We need you to be great actors and come back and be like, we went to the moon. We're celebrate. Sleep with a load of women when you get back, or whatever. Do whatever you have to do. Have a midlife crisis when you get back. But we need you to act well. They came back and they looked like something was very wrong. And that if they were paid actors, they would come back and they would be like, oh yeah, it was amazing. We didn't see much. It was just a lot of dust and this, that, and the other. But it's very beautiful up there. And it was just a very weird interview.
Yeah.
It could be the fact they're all sat there, and as soon as we're in, so like, you can't tell them about the pyramid. Don't talk about the massive pyramid you've seen. It could be something like that. There could have been something they'd seen up there which they weren't allowed to talk about. We've all heard the idea of the aliens watching them in the crater. I don't even know where that story came from. Was that Edgar Mitchell?
No, I think it was Buzz Aldrin.
It was Edgar Mitchell. Edgar Mitchell, nothing happened on the moon. It was on the way back. And it was like almost an out of body moment. It was weird. But
Buzz is an odd cat, isn't he?
Yeah,
that'd be impressive, Rich, if you can get your face inside that astronaut suit.
Well, you just kind of in the way of them.
I know.
But for somebody, I mean, I had a hobby a few moons ago that led me to this. I didn't mean to do that. That led me to this channel, and I literally just went through moon footage, Mars footage constantly, looking through it. There's some stuff that I might do a show on it, you know, for the pareidolia people that look. You know, there's some of the stuff that I think still to this day I found some amazing stuff. But some of my older stuff, I think, you know what? Yeah, that was just pareidolia. It's like when you mentioned the sea on the moon. What if there was just a rock that had like a curve in it, you know, that did look like a sea?
Yeah.
Sure.
Could do. I mean, it'd be pretty odd having a full stop after it as well. But
nature does weird things. I don't know if you saw that show with Joe Rogan when he was talking about the electric hitting the sand.
Yes. Yeah, that's
from
cool.
Lightning.
From lightning,
yeah. Lightning may be the spark of life, believe it or not, because it created these proteins, I think, from the strike in certain parts of the like soil and whatnot. It's very strange.
Well, it may have sparked.
It could have sparked life. You know how hot it is. It could have hit somewhere that would just had the right amount of whatever in there, and then boom, and then maybe these cells created from it. And who knows, man? I'm just spitballing.
No,
but that's what I heard. Yeah,
we've got to just over an hour and a half, so we haven't got too long left because I like to keep it about an hour and 45. I think that's a sweet spot for these interviews, and we've not really spoke about it. This video, this live stream was not really meant to be anything. It was kind of just to get me back into it because I mean,
called having a lack of content. Everyone knows.
Yeah, well, I don't mind saying this. I mean, Rich, you said that if anybody's made it this far into the video, I can speak about it now. That through this time, I think a lot of people have been affected by it. Me for one, so I apologize for the lack of content, but I'm getting my ass into gear, getting back up there, gonna get the guests back on.
It's draining. It's a draining time, and Rich saps energy off all of us so he can keep making shows.
Yeah,
I've felt it. He just draws energy from other content creators to keep going.
That's his game.
I'm an energy octopus. That's what I do.
But I do like working with you two guys because I think the three different sense of humors. Sometimes we don't get each other's sense of humor, which is even more funny for the guest when it just flies. When you did that, Rich, but it happens, because we're all kind of from a different culture. Rich, you're from the States, from Arizona,
right?
I'm from like near Leeds. It's in Yorkshire. And Lee, you're on a weird island.
I come from the fucking Shire, very near.
Where are you from? New Zealand?
No, the Isle of Man.
Where's that? Australia.
Man was
no, it's the UK. It's in between Scotland, Scotland and England.
Okay.
Yeah, we're slap bang in the middle. Like if you got Ireland there, you got England, Isle of Man in the middle. It's only 80,000 population.
Wow.
Oldest parliament in the world. Oldest parliament in the world.
Full of very strange people. Apart from Lee, but
no, fucking conspiracies
on the island.
I'm one of the fucking strange ones. I know that. That's fine.
Didn't you get one of the monoliths on your island?
No, I don't think so.
I'm sure you did.
No,
was
that
a monolith
I've seen.
on your island.
I'd have noticed.
I nearly messaged you about it.
Yeah, I think there was.
There was a monolith on your island.
Fuck off, right?
I'm sure there was.
Oh, for real? There really was.
I'm sure there was a monolith on your island.
What's the island again called?
Isle of Man.
The Isle of Man.
Monolith on Isle of Man. Put monolith on Isle of Man.
Quality content.
Why don't you try Isle of Man monolith?
Oh no, I think it was the Isle of Wight.
Oh,
Mixed up.
WYT.
Yeah, that's fucking Ike's land.
Right.
David,
That's what
David
no
Icke,
Ike is.
he
That's
lives
where David Icke comes
Oh,
from.
Ike.
Yeah. Oddly enough, a listener to my podcast, and I'll call him a friend. He's coming on. He's coming on my podcast again soon. He's a radio host in the Isle of Wight. His dad is in a constant battle with David Icke over a car parking space outside Tesco's. They try and park in the same park, and they both go shopping on Sundays. Imagine how fucking weird your life gets when you're in a war for a car parking space with David Icke.
And what car does David drive? Because he made a point of saying that I don't drive an expensive car.
Lexus. He's got a Lexus.
Okay, yeah. I still can't believe that Rich's monkey's worth what? Did you say $1.5 grand?
I don't know, 1,800 pounds or
Did
something.
you just change your hat?
He did just change his hat. Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You fucking did.
No, I didn't.
People in the chat, Rich changed his hat.
No. It's just because I went off camera for a second. I think you guys are.
No, Philip Blair, David Icke's definitely on the Isle of Wight. I'm on the Isle of Man. If David Icke was on the Isle of Wight, he'd have already on Musty Audio because I wouldn't have stopped hounding him.
So to let everybody know, because I'm going to push it, and then I want you to introduce your channel before we get off. I am launching Alien Addict merch. We have two of my very good friends there that are rocking it.
Nice.
But it will be launching soon. But I've come up with a little logo because people, and it's because of you guys, the subscribers, that call me AA. You're going to be getting things like this, by the way, on t-shirts.
Oh, right over me.
Sorry, Rich. But this is the kind of like the signature that I've come up with.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. It took me a while to kind of think it over, but
looks a little bit like a metal band logo.
Does. Or
somebody said it looked like the Matt. I sent it to a mate of mine. Then he sent me instantly back a picture of the McDonald's logo.
Oh no!
Does it look
like Coming to America, McDonald's? By the way, don't
maybe,
see them coming to.
Maybe
America.
that's what was on the moon. Maybe that's what was on the moon, and they were that upset. They went all the way. They left Earth and still found a McDonald's.
Starbucks, yeah.
So we'll start with you, Lee. So before we get off, Lee, where can the guys find you?
You can find my podcast on everything called Musty Audio. There's a YouTube channel which I also upload the shows to. I think I need to upload the last one because I forgot to do it. I will do. And I'm gonna try and film this time in some other ways. Like I play drums, so I watch another guy who likes to do drum reaction videos. I might start doing some of those because I think it might be fun.
Cool. You're that good?
I'm pretty good.
Oh my god, I love drums.
Yeah, I'm all right. I've played since I was 16. If I wasn't any good, I'd be very upset with myself now.
Wow.
I need to see this drum set.
Yeah, I can't wait. I love that.
Sing your stand up.
Yeah, I've got lovely DW. I've got lovely drum workshop drum kit. Love DW stuff.
And we've seen the sit down today.
Yeah. Well, Lee's stand up is very much there is an. He reminds me of a Scottish comedian called Frankie Boyle because he says things and people are like very like, I can't believe he's just said that. Do not say any of it on this channel, please. Whatever you do, please. You can't know if you can put that on YouTube. But yeah,
lockdown
in the making, a good stand-up comedian there. And Rich,
if I'm ever allowed to, I'm not even allowed to go and hug my mum at the minute, let alone go and do stand-up. It's illegal to hug my mother at the moment.
You've got to send her a hug emoji.
It's just like in the interest of humanity, we have to leave our parents to die alone.
Well, yeah, it's a bit very morbid, but true.
Sad.
I need to remind my mum to do that will. She's still not on the will.
See, I meant that as a really, really dark joke. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry.
So Rich, I was quite conscious about time because I know you're going on. You'll be preparing to go on Dark Hour Paranormal soon.
Yeah,
you're going to
2
be on that
hours after this. Yeah.
in the next 2 hours. Yes, so I know you want to grab a bite to eat and
Yes, I do.
change your hat and what have you. So
I'll change it. Yeah.
where can if the guys don't know, we still the vastly biggest growing probably YouTube channel when it comes to UFOs and ufology is GUFON Radio right now.
Well,
UFOs.
You can say, you just can't post it. Third phase UFO report is now the fastest, probably second. Yeah, I'm probably third. Seriously, it's not even a joke. I think we're the third fastest growing YouTube UFO channel. Yeah, every day, Monday through Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, 1 to 2 hour podcast. And then I'm on Third Phase UFO Report every other day, making videos and all that stuff. And then Third Phase of Moon. I almost said Third Phase of UFOs. Third Phase of Moon as well. So check it out.
Very
Busy
very
boy.
busy man.
Yeah.
Busy man.
Yeah. And I'm.
I want you to get a window
stuff.
in your schedule as well to come on Musty Audio.
What's
That'd be
that?
fun. I want you to get a window in your schedule as well to come on Musty Audio.
Hey man, just tell me when. I'll be there. Just tell me.
I don't mind. Well, you're the busy one. I'll do it whenever you want.
Just you tell me when, and it'll work out. You'll see.
Right. Okay.
When would we do it? Around the same time we did this today?
Yes, this sort of time. On a weekend.
On a weekend? Forget it.
Well,
no, I'm kidding.
No,
I'm joking. I'm
no,
joking.
it's Thursday tonight, isn't it? It's Thursday. We could do it next Thursday.
All right, we'll do next Thursday then.
Oh, it's a day.
And you can see me
it's
on
a day. There we go, people. We got a day. Fantastic.
That'll be the 18th, March 18th.
If you say so.
You said it. You said let's do next Thursday.
Yeah, I don't know what day it is. I'm in lockdown. Days don't mean anything anymore. I'm just gonna have to count. I'm gonna have to count things until it's time.
Well, Thursday's Thursday, so
and that's still the day after Wednesday.
It is sometimes, yeah.
Right. Okay. Good.
So you're right. You should be careful. Yeah. You never know. All right. Tentatively next Thursday. You never know. Things could change.
Yeah.
But thank you. And you need to come on.
Oh no, I'd love to. That'd be great.
This is delicious.
This all could be done. This could all be done not on a podcast, couldn't it?
We'll call it GUFON.
What's he GUFON? I like that.
Well, that's not fair to Lee. Yeah. Let's see. We go. GUFON
So
audio.
I'm just going to drop you guys out and say goodbye, and I'll be back. I'll be back to talk about the scheduling.
Thanks for having me. Okay,
anytime, mate. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, guys. I know it's a bit of a weird one, but it's kind of just to get me back into it. Like I say, it's been a little bit weird with the kids that have been constantly here, and it's kind of like I'm the person that kind of like, I'm good just to kind of prod for my children, just to prod and punch and jump on and wrestle, and that I'm not the teacher. I'm dyslexic, and I've had to teach my kids from home. Teach one of them, the other one can barely say. He can say food. He can say food, and I need a wee. Well, he just says I've done a wee. He hasn't. But yeah, before I mumble on, good night, God bless. Thanks for being so supportive, guys, in the chat. Awesome. Love you guys to pieces. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm here to stay. I just needed to get out of the rut. Good night, God bless. Mind the bugs don't bite. I'm Alien Addict. Ta-ra.